Hello and welcome to another episode of Weather Watch, Millersville University's exclusive weather entertainment program. I'm your host, Sarah Kleinert. A lot has happened these past few weeks, so let's start off by getting you caught up with weather that's made recent headlines with your weather in 60 seconds.
Typhoon Lan hitting Japan, a unique hurricane in Europe, and an update on the California wildfires are all part of your weather in 60 seconds. At the end of October, Typhoon Lan swept along the southern coast of Japan with sustained winds at 87 miles per hour and gusts up to 122. The tropical cyclone caused large amounts of landslides and flooding to occur. Fortunately, Typhoon Lan, which had been a Category 4, had scaled down to a Category 2 by the time it made landfall, and only 4 lives were lost. Traveling over to Europe, Hurricane Ophelia has turned out to be the easternmost major hurricane to form in the Atlantic to date. It fanned wildfires in the Iberian Peninsula and even caused a blood-red sun in England. With sustained winds of 69 miles per hour, Hurricane Ophelia caused devastating flooding and has left 5 dead in Ireland. Finishing in California, over 1 million acres of land have been burned in 2017 alone. The wildfires have devastated many regions in California and have even wreaked havoc on the $58 billion Napa Valley wine industry. The majority of the wildfires are now under control, however there are still over 4,000 firefighters actively involved in 9 ongoing fires across the state. And that concludes your weather in 60 seconds.
The 2017 hurricane season has been without a doubt extremely active. Between Hurricane Harvey, Irma, and Maria alone, millions of lives have been affected. Here with more on the active hurricane season is Kate Westerholm.
Hurricanes are one of the most destructive forces on Earth. With intense winds, flooding, and devastating storm surges, it's never easy preparing for a tropical cyclone. From Hurricane Harvey to Irma and to Maria, the 2017 hurricane season certainly tested our preparedness as a nation. But where does this active season stand, and how does it compare to previous years? 2017 is the first year on record to have 2 Category 4 hurricanes make landfall in the continental United States in the same year. Toward the end of August, Hurricane Harvey captured the attention of individuals across the world. The last major hurricane to hit the mid-Texas coast was Hurricane Celia back in 1970. Harvey would later shatter records on August 25, 2017 when the storm made landfall. Harvey exploded rapidly from a tropical depression to a major hurricane in around 40 hours. Besides wind and storm surge, hurricanes and tropical storms are notorious for producing torrential rainfall and flash flooding. Unfortunately, Harvey was unique. Instead of moving inland and farther away from the coast, Harvey stalled over South and Southeast Texas for days, producing catastrophic flooding. With peak accumulations of 65 inches, Harvey was the wettest tropical cyclone on record in the United States. In fact, the National Weather Service had to add colors to their precipitation graphics to properly illustrate this unprecedented rainfall. Hurricane Harvey is the second costliest natural disaster in U.S. history, coming in at a cost of $180 billion. As if this tragic event wasn't enough, the 2017 hurricane season would deliver 2 Category 5 hurricanes, Irma and Maria. Low wind shear and high oceanic heat content allowed for Irma to quickly form into a Category 5 hurricane. When classed as a Category 5 hurricane, Irma hit the Leeward Islands with its maximum 185 mile-per-hour wind speeds. This makes it the strongest hurricane to ever hit this part of the world. Hurricane Irma ravaged the island of Barbuda in the Caribbean and eventually made landfall as a Category 4 in the Florida Keys. Hurricane Irma came in at a cost of $150 billion and a death toll of 154. Just as Hurricane Irma was nearing the end of its life cycle, Hurricane Maria was shortly behind. Maria quickly formed as a Category 5, and on September 20th, the tropical cyclone made landfall as a Category 4. The devastation left behind in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands is unbearable. 51 people died after the landfall of Maria, with more fatalities to later come from disease. Hurricane Maria could cost Puerto Rico $45 billion to $95 billion in damage, a devastating blow to the island's already ailing economy. Though these storms have passed, relief efforts in Puerto Rico, Texas, and many other regions continue to go on. Thousands of individuals are still fully recovering from these massive storms, but emergency management agencies, organizations, and volunteers are stepping up to breathe life back into these communities. Reporting for Weather Watch, I'm Caitlin Westerholm.
Thanks, Kate. Autumn is often many people's favorite season due to the beauty that we see around us. The colorful peaks in many North American regions are solely driven by weather. Here's Alex Torty with more on the magnificent process of fall foliage.
It's fall here in the northern hemisphere, so the leaves are changing from their bright greens to their vibrant reds, oranges, and browns. But what causes this color change and the time in which it occurs? We sat down with Dr. Chris Hardy, a botanist here at Millersville, to discuss this natural process.
So basically, if this time of year, we've got lots of trees turning colors, only the deciduous trees, of course. This is sweet gum. Sweet gum is actually my favorite because it's got a whole plethora of colors all on the same branch, and so it's actually the prettiest in my opinion. Maples tend to be the most vibrant, other than the burning bush, of course. This is a sugar maple, and sugar maples are known for turning a nice reddish orange, as well as some yellow during the fall. Then there's things like red maples, which will turn more of a red rather than an orange. And so maples are really kind of the creme de la creme of fall colors.
Dr. Hardy elaborates on why trees lose their leaves in the first place.
Deciduous trees have to lose their leaves during the winter time. What comes with winter is not good to have your leaves on the tree. Wintertime brings snow and ice, and if the leaves were still on the tree, then the leaves would carry all that load, and that would lead to branch failure. Another reason deciduous trees lose their leaves in the wintertime is because in the wintertime, there's not going to be as much water available. Precipitation is a lot lower. Also, the water, if it's in the ground, may be frozen. And leaves are the organs through which plants lose most of their water.
Ultimately, in the autumn, deciduous trees must lose their leaves in order to prevent damage caused by the harsh winter ahead. So, why do we see these beautiful colors?
Now, the reason they turn color is because the chlorophyll, which is green and quite abundant and potent year-round, is no longer needed because photosynthesis isn't going to be happening. And so what the trees need to do is they need to break down some of those chlorophyll molecules and recycle them, pull them back into the stem so they can reuse them next year. And so when the green breaks down, it reveals other pigments that are in there all year round.
The two pigments revealed by leaves are carotenoids and anthocyanins. Carotenoids make yellow, orange, and brown colors found in bananas, root vegetables, and carrots. Anthocyanins make the red and blue colors found in blueberries and strawberries. Dr. Hardy explains more on the process by performing a separation of the carotenoids and anthocyanins. So the next time you see a beautiful autumn tree, or even tour an area popular for fall foliage, think about the magnificent process that Mother Nature is undergoing. For Weather Watch, I'm student meteorologist Alex Doherty.
Thanks, Alex. Well, that concludes another episode of Weather Watch. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can also visit our website, muweatherwatch.com, to view all of our previous episodes. On behalf of the entire cast and crew, thanks for watching, and be sure to catch us next time on Weather Watch.